This video is to show how to decommission for shipping the ULM600. Remove the 4 screws from the bottom front of the tabletop. There's 2. From the back side, there's 2 here as well. Remove them completely. Okay. Once the screws are removed from below the table, you can lift the tabletop off. Then this shipping sponge can be placed here and run the table post all the way down until it stops. This will take the weight off the spindle inside the Z-axis. And then you want to remove the keypad from the front of the ULM. There's 2 covers, and then there's 2 Allen screws. Measuring control panel lifts away. And then the tailstock is held on by this knob here. And then it lifts straight up and off. That should be boxed separately as well. For the headstock, inside this door, there's 2 screws that go in. You have to remove the weights, the removable weights, and then there's 1 weight that always stays in place, the 1 newtons. And 2 screws go in these holes to hold the weight all the way to the bottom of its travel. So the way you do this is set the screws in and then lower the weight down, and as it almost touches the bottom, you tighten the Allen screws. And that will keep the weight carriage to the bottom, and that way if you turn the machine on its side or upside down or anything, it's going to hold that carriage there in position so that the pulleys, the cable doesn't come off the pulleys. And you can see there that this guide is in the center of the carriage, and this locks the arm approximately to the center of the travel. And we can replace the weight door. Here, we can do that. Okay, the next step will be to remove all the cables from the back of the Econ box, and everything is labeled. If it's not labeled, you need to label where everything goes. We have these wire numbers on here, 5 on the cable, it corresponds. Most of them are held in place with a small flathead screws. So you need a real small flathead screwdriver to do this. All the cables have been removed from the Econ box, and that can be placed in a box separately as well. So make sure that you have enough slack with the cables coming out of the headstock to be able to remove the headstock and place it on a workbench. reader head cable comes out of this temperature probe out of the back side here. It lifts straight up. Set it down on a workbench, and these aluminum brackets secure the arm in place for shipping. Bottom of the bracket is held to the head with these two Allens. The other bracket goes on the back side. Snug those up, don't tighten them yet.
Comes a washer.
Yeah, you have a spacer that goes between the arm and sits in this recess here. And then the bolt comes from the front and goes through. And we just slightly snug that.
Same on both sides.
Same thing on the other side. You may have to loosen the bottom bolts to get you some play to get the bushing inside. You don't want to put any pressure on the arm. So moving it over to the side so that he's got enough clearance, and then he'll slide it back once he gets it in position. Slightly snug the bolts. Then these bars go across the top. There's also a spacer on each side here, front and back. Both sides, same setup. Snug all the bolts down. Snug everything in a pattern so that it doesn't kick the arm sideways at all.